Why would you do this? How? How can you go from this to this? From this to this? From this to this? From this to this?
There's a lot of inconsistencies in the jump between the World Race and AcceleRacers. Like, what happened to the Clip organization? What happened to the Scrim Corporation? Or most importantly, why did everyone's feet get so big? One of the most jarring examples is the fact that many characters from World Race received redesigns. Why did the designers feel the need to change certain characters and not others? This is what I think. Let's get to it. First of all, let's talk about character diversity. This is something a lot of companies struggle with even to this day, but Hot Wheels has had it down since 2003. Both World Race and AcceleRacers feature a wide variety of characters with extremely different backgrounds. So much so that Mattel was initially hesitant to include characters like Kadeem. Here, you can see Jeff Gomez, the main producer of Hot Wheels World Race, talking about him.
There are characters in those Hot Wheels stories. One of them was clearly, his name was Brian Kadeem. He was clearly Arab or Islamic. This was in the year 2002. Mattel didn't know what to make of this character, and we said, please leave him, leave him there, you know. And that was one of the first cartoon characters who at all was reflective of that culture, of that race that got out into the whole world.
As you heard, Kadeem was either Arabic or Islamic. And from this line in the World Race,
when you have driven in a sandstorm in the Sahara, Bungie, this is nothing.
We can deduce that Kadeem was most likely a Muslim from northern Africa, where the Sahara Desert is located. Having a thick accent and a dark skin tone would fit this criteria perfectly. However, this doesn't align with what Jeff Gomez said about Kadeem possibly being Arabic. If we look at AcceleRacers Kadeem, we can now see that he was given a lighter skin tone and longer hair, something more suggestive of an Arabian man. It's quite possible that Jeff Gomez originally intended Kadeem to be portrayed this way, but couldn't for whatever reason. The designers must have recognized this, and changed Kadeem so that he would be more faithful to his original design concepts. Another reason why he may have been changed was because the designers wanted to differentiate him more from Torque, a prominent African American character on the show. Let's move on to Taro Katano. Taro seems to be a first-generation American driver with strong Japanese roots, although it isn't very obvious that he's Japanese in the World Race. He did have a subtle pigtail you could see in a couple of scenes, a remnant of the hair he had in his comic book, but other than that, there weren't very many tells. As a young lad, who wrote this? I remember as a kid, I thought Taro was Hispanic, or maybe even white. It never occurred to me that he was Japanese until I watched AcceleRacers. In AcceleRacers, he was given a different hairstyle, a different facial structure, and even wears sleeves resembling those of a Japanese samurai's. It's now much more obvious to tell that he's Japanese. When I first began doing research for this video, meaning doing a couple quick Google searches, I learned that Lonnie was actually raised in Hawaii. I figured that, since most of the redesigns thus far have had to do with making the characters' ethnicities more obvious, the same would apply to Lonnie. However, nothing about Lonnie's redesign seems to be indicative of a Hawaiian woman. I think Lonnie's redesign has more to do with separating her identity away from the Wave Rippers and placing her on Dr. Tesla's racing team. If we look at her bio in the Meet the Drivers version 2, her being on the Wave Rippers isn't even mentioned. All it says is that she was a driver in the World Race, and that she's somewhat of a technical wizard. This is very fitting, as she seems to much prefer being a mechanic rather than a driver, similar to Monkey. Whether it be in World Race, AcceleRacers, or even in her comic, she can always be seen working on something or just being generally helpful/caring. Next, let's talk about Galorum. In the World Race, Galorum is portrayed as the leader of the Clip organization. In spite of this, she doesn't seem to have very many defining features signifying that she is the leader. Besides the silver hair, she doesn't have much to work with, probably because she is forced to blend in and disguise herself as a human. This was all changed in AcceleRacers, where she was given a sick green and black color scheme, had veins running down her face, and even the eye she injured in World Race is now green. Her redesign is perfect. It separates her from the Clip organization and solidifies her as the leader of the racing drones.
Hey guys, hold up. Forgot what I was gonna talk about. Fuck, that's my doctor. Oh hey guys! Thanks for watching thanks for watching, guys. To be honest, I didn't think I'd be making another video with commentary, but you guys like the silencer video so much. You guys were eating that shit up, so I knew I had to make another one. But yeah, I made this video because I hadn't seen many people talking about the redesigns. All anyone ever says is just like, Toro design sucks and shit like that. So yeah, and I know someone's gonna bring this up in the comments, but I didn't talk about Marky's redesign because he didn't really get a redesign. Yeah, his character's really different, but he looks surprisingly like himself when he takes off his sunglasses, and his fucking hair can be explained with gel, and then I guess he just did a hella push-ups in prison or something. And I don't think Banshee would have gotten a redesign either, as it's already really obvious where he came from. He always talks about being from Puerto Rico, so yeah, and he's really different from Noah already. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that motherfucking like button, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till next time.